It'll be 1st and 10 for Mayfair at their own 20-yard line. That ball was way out of the end zone. That was Sam Orr. He's had a couple brothers come through here. Big soccer stars. Playing at Biola University now. And there you see the Monsoons. Underdog. And I bring up 1st and 15 now. So the Monsoons regroup. To the far side of the field goes Matt Douglas, wearing number 5. He's out there with number 10, Trevon Spears. And the give goes to Kennett again, pretty much the same play. And Kennett is going to run for 2 or 3, and that's it. Bring up 2nd down long. So they're going to credit Kennett with a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 now. The ball back to the original line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line in the I formation. Alan Kennett, now the fullback. Jimmy Manley moves in motion, and he moves up to the slot. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. On 2nd down, Gonzalez with plenty of time, but he's going to be sacked. Watson, number 50. And he combined with Walker, number 44. And Drew should have known that, Gonzalez should have known the puck was going to collapse any minute. He stood back there about 4 or 5 seconds, and whenever you have that much time, that's too much time. However, he stood up in the pocket, only lost a yard. Now it's 3rd and 11. Gonzalez drops. It's a screen, and it's dropped. Pass was intended for number 1, Jimmy Manley. And Manley had a little bit of room. I don't know if he had enough to get a 1st down in the open field there, but he definitely, that was a catchable ball. He had it in his hands, and he just dropped it. The Monsoons cannot do that tonight. They only burned a minute, about a minute 40 off the clock. Didn't have to give it away to the Matadors. And again, with a high-power offense like this, well, they could score at will. You don't want to do that. But it's done. In the punt, number 16, Mark Kennedy. Kennedy gets off kind of a short kick. It's going to bounce at the Monsoon 40, and it's going to roll out to the Monsoon 47 or 48. They're going to down it. Michael McCabe on the down. And it'll be 1st and 10 for La Mirada. And we'll see what happens. Matadors have been waiting a long time for this one. Almost a full year. Meyer, quarterback. The give on 1st down goes to Rudiger. Rudiger's going to pop it to the outside. Rudiger on his feet. Chris Rudiger getting some big yardage down just outside the 30-yard line. And a 1st down. Nice run there by Rudiger, running hard. So 1st and 10 now, and the ball at the 33-yard line of Mayfair. Bo Price all alone, lined up to the far side of the field. In the I formation, it's Rudiger. In motion goes Shavers. The give to Brandon Williams. And Williams picks up a yard, maybe 2. Now bring up a 2nd down for La Mirada. Just underway here in the 1st quarter, no score. And the crowd continues to pile into this stadium, at least on the home side. Second and short. Vaca all alone in the backfield. The pass is incomplete. Shavers was the intended receiver. And it looked like he had it in his hands. He just, when he hit the turf, he lost it. So third down now for the Matadors. Junior Vaca checking out. Williams checking in for La Mirada. They're going to have Williams all alone in the backfield. Bo Price out to the far side. Little delay give to Williams. Williams going to go straight ahead, and Williams spins around. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down. Little decision here for John Mealy. He's deep in Mayfair territory. Do you want to go for it? Do you want to kick a field goal? What do you want to do? Of course, the fans here want him to go for it. It looks like they're going to. It's not that this is out of Orr's range by any means. This would be a 42-yarder for Orr, and it's well within his range. In the eye, big play. Williams and Vaca to the far side. Goes Shavers and Bo Price. And it looks like Mayfair is going to give La Mirada the automatic first down, jumping off sides. So they'll mark off the 5 yards. It'll be first down and 10 now for the Matadors. This time Rudiger will be in the backfield with Vaca. They give the Rudiger, tries to get to the outside, and he can't. Kennedy gets a piece of him. Alan Canet and number 71, Darryl Caskey, finish him off. Short loss on the play. See what they spotted. Wow, actually it's going to be about 3 or 4 yards. It's a 4-yard loss, actually, so it's going to be second down, 14 for La Mirada now. That time, as you saw there, Mark Kennedy just got a good drive and got into the Matador backfield and just strung him out. Meyer looks. Meyer's pass falls short. And it's going to bring up third down now and long for the Matadors. Good pressure put on that time by Mayfair. I don't know if we're going to see that one again or not. But Mayfair has to apply the pressure to Meyer. Here we go. Watch it come from the outside. Good protection, but they came. Back to live action. Here's Meyer on a rollout. Meyer looking upfield. Has Shavers. Going to throw it to the corner to Bo Price. Just outside of the outstretched hands of Bo. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down again. And this time I think we'll see Sam Moore come in. But there's a flag on the field. If I'm the Monsoons, I might decline this. Let's see what they do. It's holding against the Matadors. And they should decline it. Meyer's got too big an arm to be messing with. So on fourth down now, Orr will come in and attempt a field goal. And he's going to put it down right about the 31, so it'll be about a 41, 42-yard attempt. And Vaca will be in the hold. Jumping outsides won't help this time. Kick is up, and the kick has the distance. Is it good? Nope. Wasn't straight enough, but it definitely had the distance. So there's a timeout on the field with 6:57 remaining here in the first quarter of play. The score, nothing. We'll be back.
Successful in history.
I'm not surprised.
And investors appear very confident.
Of course they are, Linda.
So, do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Really? Then you can't even get local channels unless you pay more.
Really?
Digital cable gives you lots more channels than before. Right through the cable that you already have. Do you care to comment? Mr. Vickers?
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to A&T Broadband Game of the Week. Rich Estrada, happy you joined us. Right now, we've seen La Mirada, Sammy Orr missing on a 42-yard attempt, and Mayfair now with their second possession of the game. There's 6:16 left here in the first quarter, no score. Gonzalez, quarterback, in the shotgun formation. Here come the Matadors. Gonzalez throws over the middle, passes incomplete. Not a bad rush put on by the Matadors. The intended receiver at that time was number 5, Matt Douglas. Justin Villasenor put on a good heavy rush that time for the Matadors from the outside. Felt the pressure. He had to get rid of it and did. Here you see it again. He has to roll out. Can't get a good look at the field. Villasenor gets a hand on him, but it's not enough. He turns around, throws it. Pass is incomplete. Again, good defense by the Matadors. Kenny Thompson back defending for the Matadors on that as well. On 3rd down and 11 for the Monsoons. They give to Kinnett. Kinnett breaking to the outside, and Alan Kinnett gains about 10 or 11 yards, just about a yard shy of that first down stripe. And it appears the Monsoons will have to kick it away. And if you're Mayfair, you don't want to do this. You're not burning much time off the clock. 3 and out. You're giving the ball back to a high-power offense. Eventually, they're going to burn you. Kennedy's kick is going to roll out of bounds and dead at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for La Mirada. So the Matadors get the ball right back. Hey, D, I don't mind hearing you and everything, but want to switch, buddy? I'm hearing the play-by-play actually in the van, and the director calling the shots to all the camera people, and they talking back to him. It's like an air traffic control area. So the La Mirada Matadors came out. 5:17 left here in the first quarter. Their second possession. They're at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Rudiger in the backfield, along with Williams. Eric Meyer, the quarterback. Meyer gets it set. The toss back to Williams. Rudiger, the lead block. Williams cuts inside and gets about a yard, maybe 2. See where they spot. Of course, number 40, Alan Kinnett, the nose tackle, making the tackle. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 now for the Matadors. Again, Meyer breaks huddle. He's having a conversation with Vaca. And Williams in the eye, the last man. And they give the fake actually to Williams. Meyer with a ton of time lets it fly. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Bo Price. Jimmy Manley was the defender back there. Price, not very tall, man, but he's probably the best receiver in the area right now going, hands down. Yeah, 307-yard gain. He's the leading receiver in the area. 325 catches, 564 yards, a 22.3 average, and 9 touchdowns. Nobody even comes close. Next closest person has 2 touchdown receptions, so that tells you a bit about Bo. And that 22-yard average, especially after 25, I can see after 9 or 10 receptions, you might have a couple of long ones, but, you know, after catching the ball 25 times, you got a 22-yard average. You're doing something right. 3rd down for La Mirada. Meyer dropping. Meyer looks. He throws. Pass is complete to Shaver, and Shaver falls down at the 50-yard line. Manley was back defending, and it's a 1st down for the Matadors. So on 1st down for the Matadors. Rudiger is now back in the ballgame in the backfield along with Williams. And to give to Williams, Rudiger closes the seam on the outside. Williams squirts out for 6. Nice little run there for Williams. So the Matadors mixing it up, little run, little pass. Not relying on anything too heavily and really rotating those running backs. I understand Ryan Whittle's been under the weather a little bit. I'm sure we'd see him in there otherwise, but they have plenty of running backs on this team. Again with Rudiger and Williams to give to Williams, and Williams is stuck by Cannett. Oh my. Alan Cannett just straight up the gut. Williams never had a chance. Total mismatch there. Man, we got to see that one again. That was just textbook. There you see it coming through. And Cannett, Rudiger missed the block, and Cannett just lowers the boom. And when Alan Cannett grabs you, you're going down. This kid's a state wrestler, man. He's a state contender every year. Sophomore, junior, finishing 4th and 2nd in state. Come on. Mismatch there. 3rd down, 6. Meyer looks, throws, passes complete over the middle for a 1st down. On the receiving end of that, Tim McLean. So McLean gets him out to the 40. Check that, the 36-yard line. And the Matadors are on the move once again. From the 36, in the eye. Again, Rudiger in the backfield, along with Williams. Low price to the far side. Shavers to the near side. The give goes to Rudiger, and Rudiger gets about 4 or 5 straight ahead. Making the stop, Pimentel, along with number 70, Justin St. Jean. Also, Daniel Pele was the last guy to lay a hand on him on the way down. So Rudiger and Williams in the eye. Price again to the far side. Shavers at the near side. That's the same set over and over. The give this time is a pitch out to Williams. Williams cuts the corner. Williams has some room, and Williams is going to get down inside the 20-yard line. Daniel Baker finally making the stop for Mayfair, but too little too late. First and 10 at the 20 for La Mirada. 1:36 left here in the first quarter of play. There is no score. You just see the end of the run. Shavers coming hard in motion. Coming the other way with it is Williams. Rudiger makes the block. Williams gets to the hole. Williams picks up a couple of yards. Actually, check that, about 6 yards. And it's going to be out to the 14 now. So there's 52 seconds left here in the first quarter. Meyer from the 14 to give to Rudiger, and Rudiger is going to fall just shy of the goal line. Rudiger going to put him down at the 1, and Rudiger tried to extend himself, couldn't quite do it. So the Matadors get down to the 1. And I'm sure we'll see Chris Rudiger, that is, on this handoff right here again. Ball's down at about the 2-yard line. Rudiger, the lone back, and Meyer tries to stick it in there, and does Meyer get in? He does. Eric Meyer. So Meyer, on the 2-yard touchdown run, gives the Matadors the lead, 7-0. And now Samior will come in and attempt the extra point. Meyer, 2-yard TD run. The extra point is up. It's high enough, and it's good. Time out on the field, 37 seconds to go. The Matadors up, 7-0. We'll be back.
Of difficult negotiations, we are pleased to sign this historic agreement.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish?
The chairman respectfully points out that the dish is a real dead end. You buy it, you're stuck with it. Even we've heard that with digital cable, you always get the latest technology. He's mad.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Media. Check that, Media One, AT&T Broadband Sports, and the Matadors on a 2-yard touchdown run by Eric Meyer are up 7-0. And remember, the last 2 times these teams have met. Remember, La Mirada won 18 straight on these guys. But remember, Mayfair was a revolving door for coaches. Everybody would stay a year or 2 and split. And the last time these 2 teams met, it was 35-14 La Mirada for the. Or check that, Mayfair for the league championship, and again in the championship finals. In 98, Mayfair 28-14 over La Mirada. And prior to that, it could have been 3 in a row. There was a game that they played in league here that year. It was 21-17. La Mirada went up 21-0 at halftime. Mike Harrison came out through 3 touchdown passes in the second half because Connett and Williams both got injured in that ball game, but they could not convert an extra point and lost the game 21-18. Now, had they just come out and throw Harrison like they were doing in that first half, it would have been no contest. Here we go, 1st and 10 for Mayfair. Ball's at the 20-yard line, in the eye. And the give goes to Alan Connett. Connett trying to break it to the outside and gets about 5 yards on the carry. Shavers making the stop. Second and 5 for the Monsoons. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. The score is 7-0 La Mirada. We'll be back for the second quarter after this.
Your credentials are impeccable. Oh,
yeah.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
What?
I mean, if you paid hundreds more for equipment and installation, and you can't even get local channels without paying more when digital cable gives you lots more channels than before, well,
But-
I'm sorry for you, sir. Thank you.
I love digital cable.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Game of the Week. Rich Estrada, Chris Anderson with you. We're just getting ready to start the second quarter of play. The Matadors up 7-0 right now. However, Mayfair with the football. Kinnett gaining 5 yards on his last carry. And here we go. Second down, again, Kinnett in the backfield with Manley. Gonzalez, the quarterback. The pitch to Manley. Manley looking for some room, but the Matadors just pinch it off. Everybody there. Rudiger making the tackle. Everybody around the ball. The Monsoons cannot mount any type of offense so far in this ballgame.
Looks like there's a big size differential in the trenches, Rich. It looks like Mayfair's a little undersized compared to the defense of La Mirada, especially when you got big linebackers like Chris Rudiger, who's just scraping and filling holes like he did on that play.
I think right now the Matadors basically are just out quicking them, though. They got, overall, I think the Monsoons might have more beef, but it's right now the Matadors. You saw the defensive pursuit right there on that play, Chris. Everybody was around the ball, coming to the outside. Here we go, big third down play. The pitch this time to Manley, and Manley trying to go to the outside. He's going to lose yardage, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know why the Monsoons just don't run Alan Kinnett. Alan Kinnett gains 5-9 yards a carry. Give it to him.
Well, in that play, again, you said they're getting out quick, but also when they are smaller in the trenches, they're not able to hold the blocks longer, and so they just start getting off the blocks and getting to the ball a lot quicker.
So Kennedy will be back in to kick the ball away. Standing deep for La Mirada will be Robert Bo Price. They call him Bo, so we call him Bo. Bo Price. He's the shortest big man on that field. I'll tell you right now, he's got a heart bigger than anybody out there. And that's it. Miscommunication back there at Kennedy. And the Matadors get a big, big, big turnover.
Rich, the ball just bounced about 4 feet in front of him, bounced up, hit him in the face mask, so there was no chance whatsoever for the kick. I think it was 3 years ago we were doing a Mayfair game, and they had their starting quarterback doing the long snapping.
Yep, Mike Harrison.
So definitely a history of problems for the Monsoons at the long snapper position.
There's a few recruiters out here tonight, Chris, so you know. There's a guy from Iowa State here tonight. There's a guy here from Idaho State here tonight. All the Midwesterners, they're all over there comparing notes on 1st and 10. They give to Vaca. Vaca looking for somewhere to go and gets swarm of Matadors, but there's flags thrown. And there's going to be a hold in there somewhere, Chris.
There's flags everywhere.
Yeah.
I just saw 3 of them being thrown by 3 different officials. It was pretty funny. But this is a position where the ball's definitely coming back 10 yards. Rich, I posed this question. When will we see Brandon Williams in the tailback spot?
We've already seen him.
We saw him barely in the first half last week. He came in, provided a big spark.
Now, he started this week in the backfield. Williams and Vaca, you know, they've been running 3 backs. They've been running Williams, Vaca, and Rudiger.
Williams definitely earned more time last week.
Deservedly so. So now it's 1st and goal from the 28. Meyer. Passes complete to Erickson, and Erickson may go all the way. Brett Erickson is going to be pushed out of bounds. Touchdown! And Meyer's first touchdown pass of the game with 9:53 left here in the first half.
Brett Erickson was just matched up against 1 DB. He was able to make a move and get by him, and there was no chance to bring him down with his speed getting to the pylon. A great job with a great move by Erickson, and a good job by his receivers that are helping out downfield, throwing blocks for him. It's funny, you get a 1st and goal, and all of a sudden you get a penalty, you're back 10 yards, you kind of say, uh-oh, not the Matadors. They come right out and they strike right back.
They're not messing around today. The extra point is up, and the extra point is good. Timeout on the field, 9:53 left. First half, the Matadors up 14-0. We'll be back.
company's IPO is the most successful in history,
I'm not surprised.
and investors appear very confident.
Of course they are, Linda.
So, do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Really? Then you can't even get local channels unless you pay more.
Really?
Digital cable gives you lots more channels than before. Right through the cable that you already have. Do you care to comment? Mr. Vickers?
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody, welcome back to AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Richard Straight along with Chris Anderson, and we've seen La Mirada now. Eric Meyer, 28-yard touchdown toss to Brett Erickson. And the Matadors now 14-0. And you hate to say it, Chris, but you know what? Mayfair's not shown any propensity towards scoring in their first 3 games. They've been averaging scoring just 12 points a game, Chris. So it looks like right now that it's over. 14-0. I mean, you hate to say it, but
if you follow the trend, it's definitely
facts
over.
are facts, but there's a long way to go in this one still, but we'll see. One more score, though, is going to make it very, very hard without any type of threat coming from Mayfair. None whatsoever so far. What a difference a year makes, huh, Chris?
A big difference.
Man. You know, La Mirada may be on the other side of it next year. It's year to year, folks. On first down, nice bit of running there. That's got to be Kinnett. Tell me I'm wrong, Chris.
Looked like number 4, Jermaine Burge.
Might have been. It's the most hard I've seen somebody run with besides Allen today. He ran like he meant it that time. Second down. Call it 6. Again in the eye. The give this time goes to Kinnett. He's going to go forward and pick up a couple of yards.
I like that better, Rich, at least for Mayfair, rather than trying to sprint outside and give the defense a chance to run them down. If you're smaller, you want to outquick them, so get into them as fast as you can. Get as much time on them as you can and let the back try and get through there.
So we're at third down, Chris. A short 4. And the Monsoons, again, trying to get something going. Kennedy in the backfield. At the fullback. And they give to Kennedy, and Kennedy gets the first down. Kennedy squirts out to the 35.
Oh, and a flag comes in late. It's always the retaliation, Rich.
But it's a first down. They'll mark it from there, so it'll be a first down first, a dead ball foul second.
Definitely. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike. It's definitely a 15-yarder against La Mirada, and it wasn't that big a deal. The guys were going a little bit late, but it wasn't exactly, a tough shot. It was just a little push, and there's the personal foul call.
Let's see that again, D, if we have it.
It was just 2. It was the receivers and the DB out on the outside. There you see the handoff, a good play. Look, straight up the middle, getting into them as fast as they can, getting as much as they can, and then should be on the bottom left of your screen. Well, there's the push by Mayfair, and then the push comes back if you let it roll. There's your receiver coming in, throwing a push. The whistle's been blown.
Let it go, D.
And then the La Mirada guy comes in and pushes him back, and that's where the penalty came from.
First down and 10 now. This is the best field position, obviously the best series the Monsoons have had in this ball game. So just when we put the final nail in their coffin, they're back up already.
Hey, you were the one with the hammer, not me.
You told me. You had the nail there. There comes Manley. And there's just way too much pursuit defensively. The Matadors are quick on defense, Chris. They're not big, they're fast.
Every time they get outside, there's 2 guys in blue jerseys waiting for them. So really not much chance there. And like I said, the success you've seen is when they've gone up the middle.
Well, I know Kim Brooks did his defensive assignment every week before the game. He gives the speech, and the fans up here love it. There's like 5 or 6 people, maybe more, just turning around and listening to Coach Brooks, like 200 yards off to the west of here, and they listen to that speech. He fires them up, and that's his defense. As you see the end play right there. And look at all the shirts. Count the shirts.
All blue, no white.
They're not messing around. Second and 10. Gonzalez in the shotgun. Manley flanks him. Pass is complete to Manley. And Manley's going to break to the outside. Manley has a first down. Nice running by Jimmy Manley. He made a lot happen after the catch on that one, Chris.
Yeah, and a great play call by Mayfair. You got a team that on defense is really aggressive. They're getting upfield as hard as they can. Set them up for that screen, which is just what they did, and that was a great play by the offensive line, getting out there, throwing their blocks, and a first down for Mayfair.
Here it is again, Chris.
Now watch, the quarterback just drops, he drifts. He's waiting for that back in the line to release, and there he is. And watch how patient he is. He waits, he cuts back inside, letting his line get his blocks, running through a tackle and stretching out for a first down.
Brandon Aho turned him in. Well, that could have went for some really big yards. He would have had a lot of speed going up, building to the outside. First and 10 for the Monsoons. They are now in Matador territory at the 36 or 37. They're going to stop this. Somebody obviously moved, as we see number 44, Daniel Baker, on the carry.
Yeah, the left side of the offensive line, that's Daryl Caskey, 6'2", 260 senior. I think he jumped a little bit too early on that play.
See this one again.
Watch the left side of the line. Yeah, but you know what? I got to put that on the center. The center's the one who's getting the ball off late. The quarterback makes his cadence. He's pulling out. The center's actually late getting the ball to his quarterback. That's why there was a penalty.
So first and 15 now for Mayfair, and they can ill afford to get any penalties, especially dumb ones like that. Gonzalez gives to Baker. He's going to get 3.
Nothing doing again. The La Mirada defense showing their teeth. Not let anything big break out in the running game. One thing I have noticed about La Mirada's defense the last couple of weeks, Rich, is they don't miss very many tackles. Once they get a hand on a guy, they're holding on to him and they're bringing him down. And collectively as a group, they swarm very well.
Second down, called 11 for the Monsoons. That penalty is looming very big right now. Here's to give the Baker again. Baker looking for some room. Has it? Baker found a seam. Is he going to get to the end zone? He does. Touchdown, Mayfair. No flags, Chris. And
No
the Monsoons
flags, but
get on
a great
the board.
run.
Yes.
And Rich, again, I like the call by the Mayfair coaching staff. They pitch the ball to the short side of the field. You don't give yourself as much room, but with high school, the hashes are a little bit wider, so you get all those defenders on the opposite sides that are playing to the strength of the offense. They go away from the strength, they get upfield, and they hit the seam, and it was a great job pulling by the offensive line.
So the Monsoons will go for the extra point as they get on the board. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 5:15 left in the first half to score. 14-7, La Mirada.
Of difficult negotiations, we are pleased to sign this historic agreement.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish?
The chairman respectfully points out that the dish is a real dead end. You buy it, you're stuck with it. Even we've heard that with digital cable, you always get the latest technology. He's mad.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Rich Estrada along with Chris Anderson and the guys. And, of course, there's the Mayfair side of the field. Pretty quiet for a group that just scored a touchdown, man. Those guys should still be on their feet.
They should be giving it up for the kickoff team. But they're all sitting on their hands. I guess that 7-point difference still looming large for them.
And, Chris, you putting it in the refrigerator the way you did and early to start the second quarter, dude, that may have fired up the Monsoons.
I put nothing in the fridge. If they were beers, they'd still be warm.
Oh, man, here we go. Kennedy will kick off. Squibbler. And it's picked up at the 30 by number 30 for La Mirada. It's Kevin Smith on the return. And Smith's going to get him out about to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
I like that move, actually scooping that ball up, Rich. Why let the ball continue to bounce, give the defenders a chance to get downfield, just scoop it up, get what you can as fast as you can. Now, Rich, if you're La Mirada, do you try and quick strike them again, or you just kind of like get a nice solid drive and put something together and try and break them before halftime with big momentum?
There's tons of time, man. I'd be methodical about it, but they're going to throw. They got 3 receivers already showing. And Vaca's alone in the backfield. Here comes Price in motion.
Reverse.
And there it is, Price with it. Try and catch him. Just try and catch him. Bo Price brought down after about a 15 to 20-yard gain, Chris.
Price made a great juke, which set up his receiver, 84. That's Jarrell Shavers on the outside. Set him up for the block. Shavers was able to get the outside shoulder of the defender, freeing the outside, giving Price the option to get to the corner. Here you see it again. Here's a reverse. Now watch the move he puts. He fakes like he's going to cut inside right there, and then cuts back out, setting up Shavers with that block right there. A great job of wall blocking, and he was patient with it. He didn't hit him in the back and get himself a silly clip.
And the thing is, Bo probably knew it for a while he was going to do that. This dude sees everything.
He knew what he was doing. Now they're going to come back and fake it.
And this time it's Brandon Williams going straight up the gut on a nice run. 9 yards. And you know, it's good to see La Mirada. They're mixing it up. They're not as predictable as they've been in the past.
No, they're doing a good job of bringing guys in motion and getting the balls in the best hands of their athletes.
But then again, when you have good athletes and you know you can do pretty much what you want at will, you can do stuff like that.
You just got to be making sure that you give it to everybody.
Yeah. Spread it out, keep everybody alive, keep everybody expecting.
Mayfair not wanting to give up any more points, going to call timeout, get the coach out there, and maybe a quick little pep talk. Say, look, we got 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's try and hold them here.
I'll tell you, Chris, this was going to be a good ball game. We knew that going in. It just seemed like it was going to get ugly for a while, but we're not seeing the big aerial show that we've been seeing every week, and that doesn't mean it's not coming.
Doesn't mean it's not coming, but it just shows the balance of La Mirada, that they don't have to air it out every time. They can run the ball, they can control the clock, and they can control the tempo of the game, which they're doing right now.
14-7, Matadors have a lead, 4:33 to go, and again, I honestly believe the winner of this ball game, inside track all the way for the Suburban League title.
Well, if that's the way it's going to go, I think La Mirada is going to be pretty untested.
So the Matadors with the football, they have 2nd and short. Ball's at the Monsoon, 39. Vaca and Williams in the backfield in the eye. Meyer pitches out to Williams, and Williams trying to get outside. And he might have got the first down. I think he did, Chris.
I think he got it. The chain guys are ready to get moving down the field.
Didn't look like 66 held his block long enough, though, to spring him.
Number 75 for Mayfair on the defensive end. That's Alex Lavia, doing a good job of keeping his outside shoulder free and making the running back cut back inside, forcing him into the teeth of the defense, where even if he doesn't make the tackle, he's got linebackers that are coming there to fill the hole.
First and 10 at the 37. The give to Williams up the gut. And Williams gets down to the 20. Nice running, about a 15, 16-yard gain.
But I see a hanky. I see a yellow flag right at the middle of the line of the scrimmage.
And we will see.
This one undoubtedly is going to come back. There's the holding call. But a good job by Williams, just getting straight up the field, not really waiting for the hole to open up, but just getting there as quick as he can and running through it rather than chopping his feet.
John Mealy again, talking it over.
That was our MTV angle there.
It's our DTV angle. big crowd again for the Matadors tonight, Chris. On the home side, it's packed wall to wall. And look at the area. They're still kind of coming in over there. Still a line of people knowing it's a big game. First down and 20. I don't know why they're saying first and 25 on the board.
It's going to be first and 15 now. Good job by La Mirada, showing good discipline on the offensive line, not jumping there with a hard count. They knew what they were going to do. They were going to come out, try and get 5 yards back with the offsides call, and that's exactly what they did. A good job by the offense. You know, they're going to get up there, they're just start screaming, hot, hot. And they're going to say it so many times in the quarterback, if he doesn't get him the jump, he's just going to go back and he's going to say, okay, blue, 24, whatever their audible is, they're just going to run a play.
First and 15 now for the Matadors to give to Williams again. Williams, nice power, gets 5 yards. Just running hard by the time he hits the line of scrimmage.
And Rich, they come back and then they go on first sound right there. Just trying to keep Mayfair off balance. They're doing a good job. The defensive line, they may be a little tentative after jumping off sides last time. Now you come back right as fast as you can, catch them on the back of their heels. Vaca comes in. He'll be at the tailback spot.
Clean and Shaver to the near side of the field. Bull Price to the far side. And Myers going to air it out. Out to Vaca. Vaca's wide open. And Junior Vaca is just going to weave his way into the end zone for 6. And they're going to stop him about a yard or two shy.
Vaca was doing his work there, just weaving in and out, letting his blockers get in front of him, take out some defenders. And a good job because he didn't really have many blockers in front of him. As soon as he received the ball, watch. He gets one offensive lineman coming out late, and he creates this play by throwing some juice and making moves and being the athlete he is. Here you'll see him slip out. This is actually a quick screen because, look, there's no offensive lineman. There's a couple trying to get out right there, but now he knows they're coming. He's going to wait and wait. Now cut back inside off his lineman. Just keep following the big man down the field. A good job. And here he sees another one cutting inside. A good job by Vaca, just barely not getting to the end zone. He smelled it, though.
Is this seat open? Flags on the play. Thank you. I guess the seat's open. Jeez. Flags everywhere. Let's see what the call is. They might back it up a little bit. And they're saying it's against Mayfair, so they'll probably go half the distance up. Offsides, Monsoons.
They're getting down in that 4-point stance. They're trying to get as close to the ball, and I think that's what may have happened. They're just lining up inside the neutral zone.
So the clock continues to run. There's 1:54 left. 14-7 the score. So Williams, and now who's calling timeout? Is it La Mirada? No, Mayfair's going to call timeout with 1:39 to go. And it's 14-7. We'll take a break. Be back after this.
Your credentials are impeccable. Oh,
yeah.
One last question.
Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
What?
I mean, if you paid hundreds more for equipment and installation, and you can't even get local channels without paying more when digital cable gives you lots more channels than before, well,
But-
I'm sorry for you, sir. Thank you.
I love digital cable.
AT&T Digital Cable. It's smarter.
Everybody, welcome back to the game of the week. Rich Estrada, Chris Anderson, happy you joined us. And we have a 14-7 ball game. La Mirada with the lead. However, they are down. What is it, first and goal, Chris, at the 2-yard line?
First and goal, and Mayfair had to call that timeout because they only had 10 men on the field.
And they're going to give him the touchdown. Myers gets a second touchdown. That was weird, Chris. He just disappeared into the...
How often do you see a quarterback on a sneak break through the line? It never happens, but that time Myers able to squeak through. I don't know how he did it. All I know is he just popped out of the pile and had a touchdown. I mean, in a goal line situation, your defensive line is shoulder to shoulder right on the nose of every single lineman. And Myers was able to actually get through the end zone.
Sammy Orr in to attempt the extra point. Should be a chip shot for him. And the kick is up and good. Oh, flag, look at that. The official walked up with purpose, Chris, and just heaved that ball, that flag right in somebody's face.
He threw a fastball on that one. He just put his weight behind it, and it's going to be a hold. It looked like one of the defensive linemen had broken through, so they grabbed him, making sure he wasn't going to block the kick.
Tackled him. Man, that was as emphatic I've ever seen an official throw a flag. A flag.
He threw it like he was mad at him.
Yeah, he did. He went after him. It's the mad flag.
Better watch out.
So they'll just have to kick this one again. That's all there is to it. But again, Orr's got quite a leg on him.
You got to be careful when you throw those flags, Rich. We saw what happened with Big Zeus.
Yeah.
For the Cleveland Browns, he got plugged in the eye, and he could have lost his eye.
And here's the extra point once again. About a 30-yard extra point. Just pushed it in. It's good. Timeout on the field with 1:34 remaining in the first half. It's 21-7 in favor of La Mirada.
Your company's IPO is the most successful in history,
I'm not surprised.
and investors appear very confident.
Of course they are, Linda.
So, do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Really? Then you can't even get local channels unless you pay more.
Really?
Digital cable gives you lots more channels than before. Right through the cable that you already have. Do you care to comment? Mr. Vickers?
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Well, Chris, 21-7. Meyer going in from 2 yards out. That's the second time he's went in. He's got 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown toss tonight. Erickson with a touchdown catch. And the Matadors right now with a 21-7 lead with 1:34 left in the first half, and it ain't over yet.
They were able to drive 65 yards in under 4 minutes. They had the ball they took over it with 5:10 left to go in the half, and now there's a minute 34.
And here's the kick up by Sammy Orr. His last 2 kicks went out of the end zone, as will this one. This one will go into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback, and they'll still have 1:34 on which to work with it.
An automatic touchback. Now, Rich, with Mayfair, the question is, now do they try and chuck the ball? But I don't think they can. I don't think they have the offense to pull that off.
It's kind of a mirror image of last year where La Mirada didn't have the ability to throw the ball consistently. They couldn't do it. This year they can, and that obviously opens up your running game. And boy, has it opened it up for La Mirada. The Monsoon's big thing here is you don't want to go 3 and out too soon if you are going to go 3 and out. Because you do not want to give these guys any time left to throw it up. And believe me, Meyer will put it up if told to do so. First down. They're showing pass all the way, Chris, but don't be surprised if Manley gets it here. And it's Gonzalez on the keeper. And Gonzalez racked down after about a 12-yard gain. First down. They'll stop the clock with 1:26 to go in the first half. Can't live in those kind of plays very long, Chris.
No, but when you're a smaller team, you try to take advantage of as much as you can. And that time, they split 2 receivers out wide, giving them an advantage in terms of formation. They've got too many guys outside, so they can run the option with less defenders over there.
There's an incomplete pass. Pretty good rush put on by the Matadors. And that'll stop the clock with 1:14 to go. And you see, Chris, they don't have the big passing threat going down the field. And that's a big difference this year for Mayfair. And you think it would have gotten better having Gonzalez come back with another year, with 1 year fully under his belt, but it's just a different team completely this year.
They've lost guys on the outside,
Yes.
and that's what's hurting them.
Takes time to gel. Second down, the give. It's a short gainer. Clock will run with 1:10.
It looks like Mayfair may be content to run it out now. They were throwing passes last time, but now they're going to line up on the ball. If you're going to line up on the ball, why would you run a play right up the middle?
I don't don't know. Clock is running. 53 seconds, 52. Gonzalez, plenty of time. Lets it fly. Pass is caught, and it is for a first down. On the receiving end of that one was number 5, Matt Douglas.
A great play by Douglas keeping his feet in because his defender was all over him. The defender was number 4, Anthony Villa, and he was all over the coverage. He knew what route was coming. They knew they were going to run an out, try and stop the clock, pick up 12 yards. But a good job by Douglas catching the ball and keeping 1 foot in bounds.
There's the pitch. Manley fumbles, picks it up, tries to get to the outside, and is brought down by Vaca.
Rich, I got to question that call because they've had trouble running the option to the wide side of the field. The defense has always been keyed into that, and that time was especially true. They lose 4 yards, and they lose another timeout, their final of the half.
Well, Chris, you got 31 seconds to go. You're pretty close to midfield, but again, without having the big power threat, the bomb, the big run, it's tough.
They just got to be smart about it. They've completed a couple outs to the receivers. Fake that out. Run a pump fake, let them wheel, and run up the field, and maybe catch the defense trying to get a pick.
Kim Brooks over there giving us his instruction. It's Veely, number 4. And just telling him, bend a little, but don't break. Just don't give up the big pass. We'll be all right.
Keep everything in front of you is what he's telling his safeties. You don't want to have anyone sneaking behind on a post pattern or a fly. You just want to keep every white jersey in your sights in front of you.
Second down, 13. Now they call time in, and from the shotgun formation will go Gonzalez. He's got 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Gonzalez with some time, looks. Gonzalez is going to have to tuck it and run now, and he just walks out of bounds, gaining a couple yards with 24 seconds to go.
Call that a coverage sack because there was nothing open downfield, and a good job by Gonzalez seeing that nothing was open. If you saw him, he looked over his back shoulder, saw the defender coming after him. He just ran out of bounds, killing the clock.
So third down long, 3rd and 10. And if I'm Mayfair, basically all you can do is wind up, drop back, and try to let it fly. You got 24 seconds. Again, Gonzalez in the backfield. This time in the ball game, number 44, Daniel Baker. And Baker's going to stand right next to his quarterback.
I'd watch out for number 5, Douglas, at the top of your screen.
Good protection. Gonzalez throws. Incomplete.
Oh, is it?
Yes. They said he was out of bounds when he made the catch.
He ruled it incomplete, and then he waved and out of bounds. He waved his hands above his head like, okay, kill the clock.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be like that. As soon as the
white hat,
incomplete.
The white hat went like that right now, and that just confirmed it. So it's 4th down and a ton to go. And this cannot, is it the punt team? I guess it is.
It's the punt team.
I guess you have to kick it away with 19 seconds. You don't convert, that gives them two chances to score.
Yeah, and if you want to give the ball back, pin them as far back as you can. You don't want to give the ball up at midfield. Now the question is, can they get the snap to him? Number 89 is in the snap. That's Brian Medaw.
Kennedy this time gets it off. Bo Price is deep, and he's just going to watch it go. And they down it with 9 seconds left in the first half. 21-7 La Mirada.
Rich, I watched the snap. The guy's just throwing it back. They're usually when you see someone snap the ball, they got 2 hands on the ball and they're throwing it back. He's only using the one-handed snap, which gives you less control, so maybe that's where some of his problems lie in getting the ball 15 yards back.
If I'm La Mirada, I just take a knee and I go into halftime with a 14-point lead and talk about the explosion we're going to see in the second half, because you know it's coming.
Why not run that little reverse?
Why do it?
Yeah, why not?
Why?
Just give the ball to Bo, let him try and make a big play.
I take a knee and just go into halftime with a good lead and get ready for the next half. And they are going to do that. Look at that.
That's exactly what
3 backs, take a knee, and that's what you do. Mayfair can't stop the clock, and that's where we are at halftime now. 21-7, the Matadors with the lead. We will be back for the second half a little after this.
months of difficult negotiations, we are pleased to sign this historic agreement.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
The chairman respectfully points out that the dish is a real dead end. You buy it, you're stuck with it. Even we've heard that with digital cable, you always get the latest technology. He's mad.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to A&T Broadband Game of the Week. We almost threw Media One out there again, Chris.
Watch yourself.
You almost said Fox twice. Anyways, Game of the Week action.
I almost said some F word twice.
Suburban League opener, Mayfair, La Mirada. Right now, La Mirada, 21-7 advantage. Let's recap the scoring in the first quarter. With 37 seconds to go, Eric Meyer, 2-yard touchdown run. The extra point by Sammy Orr is good at 7-0 in favor of the Matadors. Then with 9:53 remaining in the second quarter, there was a 28-yard touchdown pass to Erickson. And, of course, the extra point was good on that one. 14-0 La Mirada. Then with 5:15 left in the second quarter, a 38-yard touchdown run by number 44, Daniel Baker. Makes it 14-7. And then before the half ended, Meyer, 2-yard touchdown run, bringing us to our present score of 21-7.
The killer being that final touchdown before the half, because Mayfair having no chance to throw the ball downfield and to make a play and get back into this game. And La Mirada comes out and they receive the kickoff, so it could be a 14-point swing in 2 possessions.
Now, Chris, to start the ball game, of course, usually the home team comes out last. Well, in this, Mayfair made them wait, and nobody wanted to go through the banner. And, of course, Mayfair made the La Mirada Matadors wait about an extra 5 minutes. And did they mark off a penalty at all, Chris? I don't think
No,
they have.
they did not.
They let it go.
But they made them wait 10 minutes before they came out for the second half.
That was a big delay, and that warranted a penalty flag, but it's not going to get it. So we start with the kickoff, and the Matadors will have the football 1st and 10.
Could have ticked off the coaching staff from La Mirada having to wait and playing these head games. La Mirada may just try and go downfield right now to Bo Price, see what they can do. And don't let them get the opportunity to run it up, because after what they pulled, they'll probably try it.
Well, it's a little unsettling, and you have these games go on, the games within the game, so I guess so they'd call them, Chris. Here we go on 1st down for the Matadors. Looks like the ball's at about the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. And to give the Vaca on 1st down goes for very short yardage, if any.
Nothing doing the defense of Mayfair, getting some penetration, disrupting things in the backfield. And that time they were able to get a hand on Vaca and turn him a little bit. And then Vaca was just swarmed by the defenders.
Gain of a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards. Called 2nd down, long 8.
And I see 21 Williams into the game now.
Well, have you noticed, Mealy's been definitely rotating his backs today. Everybody's getting carries. Everybody's getting a chance to block. You know, getting a chance to put a helmet on somebody, and that's what you want to do. In the eye with Rudiger at the fullback. Fake to Rudiger, the pitch to Williams. Williams going to the outside, tries to turn it up, and is brought down. Oof. Short gainer. Williams running hard. Ran right into number 5, Matt Douglas.
Douglas came flying up from a safety position and made the stick, and there really wasn't much there for Williams because he did a good job of containment. He was able to pick up about 5 yards, but that kind of play, they're expecting a lot more.
So it's a 3rd down and short for the Matadors, 3rd and 3 to be precise. And the Matadors come out in the eye. And the give to Vaca. Vaca brought down. Nice play there by the defensive end, Brian Medow. And the Matadors have to kick it away. And Chris, I don't see Alan Canet out there as of yet. We've been looking for him since before the half, when they came out, before the half started. And I have yet to see him on the sideline.
We've gotten an unconfirmed report that he's out with an injury. But you're the guy with the binoculars. If you're not seeing him, then they've got trouble on the Mayfair sideline.
I don't see him, and again, that was one of their it's their power guy, man. He never comes out of the game. Uh-oh. High snap going to the end zone. And getting it away. That's Nate Ortel. And Ortel turns a negative into a huge positive, and now there's a flag down. And we'll see what that's all about.
I don't know if I agree with that flag. I didn't see much of a clip there. It's going to be interesting to see what they call. And a great job being able to handle the snap off the bounce and kicking the ball out of the end zone. Really not much chance to do anything. I was ready to tell him to take a knee and just take the safety, but he did a great job of getting it off. Nate Ortel showing his athleticism on that play.
So let's see what the White Hat's going to do on this.
Looks like he was going for the old clip call.
They're getting their story straight.
We got a replay, D. Take a look at the end of the play. Here we'll see the snap over the head. Not even a leap. He knew the ball was just sailing, so he had to run back and grab it. And he just barely gets it off.
And he didn't panic, which is good. A lot of guys would have just kicked it out of the end zone.
Now watch number 5 right there. I guess it is kind of a clip. He hit him kind of in the back.
But does that give the Matadors the ball? Are they going to get the ball back? You going to get a first down out of this, Chris?
It looks like it.
So on the clip, it's the Matadors' ball, man. You talk about something that really went awry. And they come out smelling like a rose.
A bonehead play by number 5. That's Matt Douglas. We saw him make a couple plays in the first half, making some good receptions. But that play, he knew the ball was going to be down. He was just trying to get a lick on somebody. And it cost his team. They now give the ball right back. And La Mirada with great field position.
They give to Rudiger. Rudiger trying to break it outside, and he does. Turns it up. Rudiger still on his feet, and they finally yank him down. Rudiger good for 7 or 8 on that carry, and just wasn't going to go down.
Rudiger finally getting cleaned up at the end, but he took 4 or 5 monsoons to bring him down.
Look how dirty his uniform is.
Oh,
look at his pants.
That's a middle linebacker running back right there. There's no way he's coming out clean. If he came out clean, he'd probably be the most disappointed person out there.
You know what he told me one time? I asked him before the season. I asked him if he'd play special teams. He says if they'd let me. He didn't want to come out. Says they won't let him play special teams. Save it for somebody else. Second down, very short. To give to Vaca. Vaca stretching it out. Finally gets the first down, looking for a hole. Gains about 4 yards.
He saw everything was just crammed up in the middle, and he just took the opportunity to use his speed to get outside and pick up what he can. And what he did was pick up a first down with a gain of 5. Here you'll see the replay. Vaca takes the handoff. It's just supposed to go off tackle inside of number 16 in white. 16 jumps inside, so Vaca knows he can get outside and use his speed to pick up whatever he can. And now he knows he's got to turn it up, get his first down, and try and play through number 10.
I thought he was stretching it out a little too far, but he did turn it up and get the first down. First and 10 inside Monsoon territory. Meyer going to drop back, looking for Bo. It's a timing pattern all the way. Bo going to run under it, and it's picked, and it's dropped. It might be a fumble. No, they're saying no catch. I thought that might have been a pick. That was picked up by number 8, Dante Bradford, and he had it just momentarily, Chris, and it popped out.
He should have had it the whole time. Dante Bradford sitting back. He knew this play was coming. He was playing center field on it, and he's just sitting back there waiting for it. Watch, this ball hits him right in the stomach as he goes up for it. One of the things you're taught as a defensive back is catch the ball at the highest point, and he does a good job there. And it just comes out. Looked like Bo Price was able to get a hand in there, but not enough. That ball should have been held on to.
Second down, 10 for La Mirada, and the shotgun formation. Meyer steps up, throws, pass is caught, and it looks like Erickson's going to get another touchdown, and he does. 46-yard touchdown reception to number 8, Brett Erickson from Eric Meyer.
Rich, credit the offensive coaching staff of La Mirada for that touchdown because they saw the safety. We saw it on the last play. Dante Bradford, he went flying over to Bo Price. This time, they run the same pattern with Bo Price, but then send the tight end straight up the seam. He's wide open, and the safety who had to make the play could not.
Orr's extra point. Vaca to hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field with 7:42 remaining in the third quarter. The score, the Matadors up 28-7.
company's IPO is the most successful in history,
I'm not surprised.
and investors appear very confident.
Of course they are, Linda.
So, do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Really? Then you can't even get local channels unless you pay more.
Really?
Digital cable gives you lots more channels than before. Right through the cable that you already have. Do you care to comment? Mr. Vickers?
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
After 6 months of difficult negotiations, we are
Here's the play again. You see Meyer dropping back. Plenty of time. See Kennedy trying to put some pressure from the outside, but Meyer just steps up, throws, and there's Erickson. And Erickson just goes straight up for the touchdown.
And Rich, I don't know if you noticed on that play, but the defensive back came with his back hand. You're always taught come with that front hand and at least try and club him if you're diving forward for the ball. That time he came with the wrong hand, wasn't able to get a piece of Erickson at all. And Erickson just walked easily into the end zone.
1st and 10 now for Mayfair at the 20-yard line. Then again, without Ellen Canet here, it's over. You hate to say that, Chris, but I tell you, man, he's the heart and soul of that team. He fires everybody up. Probably the best athlete on this team overall.
That, and when you have a team that is more run-oriented, they don't really have the speed outside or the athletes outside to score quickly. And you're in a 21-point hole. That's a big hole to dig yourself out of when you're a predominantly running team.
Baker on 1st down goes forward. Baker gets about 3, and it's going to bring up 2nd down.
Rich, they got to do some in the passing game, and maybe possibly running a screen again, which was very successful for him in the first half, or perhaps a rollout. We haven't seen any rollouts whatsoever from Gonzalez. It would be nice to see him get out and try and run the ball upfield if he's got an opportunity.
Second down, in the eye, the pitch, pardon me. Manley gains 2 or 3, gonna bring up 3rd down short now for the Monsoons. And the Monsoons really need to put a drive together right here, Chris. They need to stop the bleeding. They need a touchdown right here. They have to take it up the field, run off as much time, that is, on the clock, and hope the defense stiffens in the 4th quarter.
Not only that, they just got to put something together to kill the momentum. La Mirada's just basically doing whatever they want on offense, and with that offense off the field, they can't do anything. So keep your offense on the field, control the line of scrimmage, and make as many plays as you can to get back into this ball game.
3rd down. Call it 3. The pitch, fumbled. Manley can't get it, and the Matadors get it.
No, I think the Monsoons may have gotten it back. I see number 6 for La Mirada in there. That's Aho. And Aho's going to come up with it. That was really close. He out-muscled number 7 for the Monsoons, Davian Brokaw.
Actually, Shavers came up with it. He probably did take it away from Aho at the bottom of that pile. They were fighting each other for that ball, Chris.
That's trouble. A turnover deep in territory. This is the one that's going to break the Camels back here. We'll see the replay. It's an option left. And Gonzalez off the free man, just a poor pitch on his part. It could have been handled, but still, it's not the best place for the pitch. And that oblong, it takes every single crazy bounce in there. Look, you got 3 guys falling on it, and that Shavers able to get most of the ball and dig underneath it and tuck it into his chest.
Here's the pitch, back to live action. That's Williams, and Williams is brought down by Baker. And a little help there from number 7, David Brokaw.
Number 4, Jermaine Burge as well from his linebacker's position made a big hit on Williams. But Williams, he's going to take a few of those hits just because he runs straight up and down. Watch, his shoulders are pretty square. He's tall inside the hole. And watch number 4 right there. Boom. Oh, excuse me, that's 44. Daniel Baker, like you said, just putting the wood to him.
On 2nd down. And the officials throw the flag. And Chris, what was that, illegal participation?
I believe so. They had, I'm trying to count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are 11 guys, but it looks like they brought a guy on late, or excuse me, off late. So an illegal substitution is going to back up about 5 yards.
Instead of second and short, you're going to go second and long now. Second and 11. In motion goes Shavers. Williams in the backfield. Little fake to Williams. Meyer's going to have to step up under heavy rush. It baits the tacklers. Has the pass caught down inside the 5-yard line. On the receiving end of that one, it would appear to be Nate Ortel.
Nate Ortel doing double duty, punt and receiving. This time he ran just a crossing pattern. Quarterback play action one way, rolling the other way. Good job of avoiding a tackle. Here you'll see it. Watch Eric Meyer. Here's the play action. Everyone's flowing that way. He's going to roll outside, and a good job of contained by Kennedy, but he's able to step inside, make a miss, and he's patient enough to not panic. He sees his receiver coming across the middle, and a good job of creating mismatches in the secondary by La Mirada.
They give to Vaca. Vaca goes straight up, and he's not going to quite make it.
Rich, I'm surprised we didn't see Vaca come, popping out of there, much like we saw Erickson. He just popped out of there on a quarterback sneak and was able to run through the back of the end zone.
So to bring up second and goal at the 1-yard line, and the Matadors are almost assured they're going to get another score here. Clock is running. Rudiger come to the sideline, and they're going to call a timeout. They don't want to blow this opportunity. It's golden opportunity right here when you're down this close, second and goal at the 1.
Rich, they had some confusion with personnel. They don't know exactly who they had to have in there, so rather than take the delay, they want to keep their field position. They don't really have to save their timeouts at this point. They got plenty of time. They've got a big enough lead. A good job just on getting organized, getting ready to punch it in one more time.
On second and goal from the 1-yard line, it just seems academic, man. Rudiger up the middle and let it happen. Even if you had to do it 3 times, he'd get in.
Either that or
second and goal.
Get Erickson up in behind that line, or excuse me, Meyer.
Let
exactly. Meyer get up in there and just break through.
You read sign language, Chris?
No. I only know one thing. One sign.
What do you want, dude? What's he talking about?
No idea.
Anyways, 3:36 left, second and goal. There's about 50 little kids come running up here right now. Oh, Chris, they spilled your Coke, man.
Oh. At least it's not on my shoes.
Goodbye, children. You guys are out of here, man. Here we go. Vaca flanked by Williams, and Meyer doesn't get in, and Meyer still doesn't get in, and he's going to go back down to the 1.
He almost had an opportunity to pop out of there again.
Yep, he certainly did. He put the ball up, they pushed it out, ball up, they pushed it out.
A good job by Meyer just keeping his feet going, not letting himself stop, and doing whatever he can to try and get into the end zone. But that time, a good job by the Mayfair defense, keeping him out and finally getting a piece of him and making him and getting him to the ground.
Here we see it again. Eric just pushing off to sneak all the way. They shut it down. He gets popped, still on his feet, puts the ball over the plane. Nobody takes the ball. They just shove it back again. And finally, he goes down. Now Rudiger should get it this time. It's a fake. Meyer still has it, and Meyer gets in for the touchdown. Eric Meyer goes over with 2:50 left in the third, and it's now 34-7.
All right, if things get stuffed in the middle, fake to the middle and just sprint outside, which is exactly what they did, and a good job by Meyer running the play fake. He had no problem strolling into the end zone.
Not a bad play again called. I thought for sure Rudiger was going to get that ball, and I think the whole defense did too.
Well, they figured they stuffed Meyer before that. They're going to give it to a fullback and let him pound it in, but Meyer, a good job of getting outside. And the offensive line selling the fake. Everyone sold the fake.
Timeout on the field with 2:50 left in the third to score. 35-7 in favor of the Matadors. We'll be back.
After 6 months of difficult negotiations, we are pleased to sign this historic agreement.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
The chairman respectfully points out that the dish is a real dead end. You buy it, you're stuck with it. Even we've heard that with digital cable, you always get the latest technology. He's mad.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Registrator Chris Anderson. Sammy York kicking off. Matadors cashed in a turnover for a touchdown. And now Mayfair's going to have to start from scratch, but they're in a huge hole right now. Just a huge hole, and it looks like it's tough today for Mayfair, period.
And actually, the first time we've seen a kickoff return by Jimmy Manley. Every kick so far today has been through the back of the end zone or just into the end zone by Sam Moore. I think he's getting tired. Here you see the replay, the fake to Meyer, he's going to tuck the ball. You see Rudiger looking to blow somebody up. He gets a piece, and that's all that Meyer needs is just to get upfield and get into the end zone. Rudiger, look at it. He's got a decleater standing over his guy.
1st and 10 for the Monsoons. Ball about the 23-yard line. Gonzalez with a pitch, and again, Manley and Gonzalez haven't been connecting on that pitch too often, Chris. They fumbled it like 3 times now.
Gonzalez, he's not really getting the pitch to him. Every time a running back's got to reach out for the ball. That's why they don't play running back, or that's why they don't play wide receiver, because they don't have to reach out and catch it. And that time, much like the previous turnover, the ball was in front of him. He had to lean over and try and catch it.
There's Pete Dames, councilman here, former mayor. I'm sure will be mayor again before he decides to hang it up. After another term, Pete, what's the matter with you? Thinks he's going to walk away after this year. Guy's a great guy. He's really good for the city and great for the kids especially, and that's the main thing. We need a guy like that around. Here we go on 2nd and long, 2nd and 16. And see, that's what I like, Chris, about guys like Pete in this community. You know, here's the guy, you know, he sits in the seat of the council making a lot of heady decisions for the city, but yet he's not out of touch with the local people here. He's good enough to come down and actually do stats. I mean, the stats for freshmen, sophomores, I mean, he pretty much gets his hands dirty and doesn't mind doing it.
When you see quality programs, successful programs, they always have those type of guys surrounding their program.
Well, you got to remember Pete's been coaching as well in the underclass freshman, sophomore, and stuff like that. So, you know, the guy's been around a long time and does a lot of good things, you know. Just, it's hard finding good, honest leaders with integrity, and that's what this guy has. Here we have on 3rd down, 3rd and about 14. Gonzalez in the shotgun. High snap! And Gonzalez can do nothing but fall on it. He picks it up. He gets out of the end zone. Unbelievable. He may turn this into a 1st down. And Gonzalez gets run out of bounds. Unbelievable. And that's going to be an automatic 1st down for Mayfair. I think they're going to get somebody with a late chop on there.
That's going to be a penalty against Mayfair.
Is it?
Yep. Number 10, wide receiver for Mayfair, trying to come back. That's Travis Spears, trying to come back and make a block. And he hits him below the waist and from behind.
They're going to have to kick now.
If there's one thing, they call it a hold. Either way, that was a penalty on Mayfair because I saw so much going on with that receiver. Credit Gonzalez here making a play, actually trying to put something on the highlight reel.
Not only credit Gonzalez, but, you know, Nate Ortel, too. The kicker seemed to have some game. Actually, that was Gonzalez, who doubles as a punter right now. He's going to punt right now.
He might as well get ready to run back there again.
But the kicker's doing a great job tonight, man, keeping both their teams out of major problems.
Could this be a fake, Rich? We saw Kennedy kick the ball in the last punt.
I don't know. No, I don't think it's going to be a fake. You're too tight in your end. Why give up another touchdown if things don't go your way?
Oh.
They may as well have tried a fake, though, because that thing doesn't even just barely got past last scrimmage. That's going to be a 9-yard punt. So you're right, Chris. He should have faked it, man.
What happened to Kennedy on that play?
I don't know.
He's a little tired from getting run over on defense.
Gonzalez was the kicker last year, the punter, and again, he's punting this year. I don't know what happened on that play, but you're better off going for it if you're only going to give up 9 yards.
Well, it looked like he tried to angle the kick like you do on a coffin corner. You don't really need to do that in your own territory.
Here. No.
Just kick the ball straight ahead, and
as hard
he
as
had
you
trouble
can.
on that.
Yeah.
That was a true shank.
So the Matadors again with great field position, and you know, Mayfair's hurting themselves. Meyer gonna go for it. Short pass is blocked over the middle. Getting a hand up there was number 70, Justin St. Jean.
They were trying to run a delay to Brett Erickson, who's getting an awful lot of work tonight for La Mirada. They sent guys deep and they just waited for him to release and just trying to drop it off. 43 seconds left to go in the third quarter. I can imagine a run play here. Try and run out the third quarter and get to the fourth where they're money and they can just drive out for the rest of the game.
They come out with Meyer and Vaca in the backfield. Shavers and Price to the near side. Here comes Bo now. Bo's coming right at you. You'll see him come into the picture there. He gets set in the slot. Now he takes it up. He's wide open. Meyer's going for Shavers. He hangs it up. Shavers makes a great leaping catch at the 3-yard line. Excellent toss. Meyer on his wallet. Nice pass there. Good for about 23 yards and a first down.
Shavers, Jarrell Shavers, he's at 6'1". He's taller than the defensive back who's listed at 6 foot, but he's definitely got 2-3 inches on him. And here you see Meyer drop back. He knew exactly where he was going right from the start. He takes the leg before he gets rid of the ball in a fine throw. And look at Shavers go up high.
What a leaper.
Pull it down. Looks like a basketball player pulling a rebound.
What a leaper.
Underthrown ball, Rich. It's the death of a defensive back. You don't know where the ball's coming. You can't make that adjustment. And Shavers was able to make the adjustment, come back for the ball, and the momentum carried Travis Spears beyond the play.
There's Mike Cardona, the line coach. Done a fine job. Graduate of La Mirada. All-American at Cerritos and played at Purdue University. As we see Williams, touchdown, Brandon Williams from 3 yards out, and the route is on.
Williams just plowing it through into the end zone, and the flashbulbs going off as he crosses the goal line. Here you'll see the replay. There's just no chance for Mayfair here. A pitch play. They're bringing the big offensive linemen, pulling them outside, clearing the way. Look at the big lane right there. If Williams knew he didn't have to get the touchdown, he'd have just kept running.
Extra point is good. Time it on the field with 2 seconds to go. Hey, Chris, we'll keep it here with 2 seconds to go because they'll just go to a broadband spot, and, you know, people are starting to tune that out anyway, so may as well hang a little bit. Extra point is good. 42-7 with 2 seconds left, and it's all La Mirada, as we thought it would be. Chris, next week, of course, La Mirada is going to continue there. And check out their schedule, man. They have 5 opening games at home. El Dorado losing to Fountain Valley Mayfair, and then next week at Norwalk will be here. 5 to start the season. Then they're going to go on the road at Bellflower.
They've got 6 home games and only 4 road games.
Yeah. Now look at Mayfair, totally opposite. They got 6 road games. They've only been at home once, last week to Marina. They got to play Artesia next week. Pioneers got something going, you know. Every now and then the Pioneers will step up. Seem to have a pretty good quarterback this year. They got some stuff going at Artesia. But nowhere near what the Matadors have.
Where will we be next week?
Good question. Probably St. John Bosco Paramount game. Kickoff from the 10. And Brandon Thomas gets it out to the 30. Timeout on the field as the third quarter ends. The score, La Mirada well in control, 42-7.
Credentials are impeccable. Oh,
yeah.
One last question.
Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
What?
I mean, if you paid hundreds more for equipment and installation, and you can't even get local channels without paying more when digital cable gives you lots more channels than before, well, I'm sorry for you, sir. Thank you.
I love digital cable.
AT&T Digital Cable. It's smarter.
Yeah, but Bosco. Everybody, welcome back to the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Rich Estrada along with Chris Anderson. We see the Monsoons with the football. They're down 42-7. We are just out of a kickoff as the Matadors in control. They give the Manly, and Manly just running right into the heart of the line and really nothing doing.
Rich, is this where the mercy clock comes into play? You're down 35 points, incompletion, just let that clock run.
Without Connett, it's been very tough for Mayfair to do anything. Monsoons come out, second down, 2nd and 8. Manly again. Brendan Reed smacking himself in the head on that one. Reed had Manly in the backfield, grabbed an arm, and he just pulled it away. After the play, Reed just kind of slapped himself in the head like, what am I thinking?
Rich, I think there's some confusion on the Mayfair offensive line. I see some fresh white jerseys in there, but a lot of guys are missing their assignments. I'm seeing 2 guys pulling and hitting the same guy. Once you see the offensive lineman in front of you taking out the outside man, you got to turn upfield and look for those linebackers because they're coming to run. They're coming to hit your running back as he gets through the hole. And you got to be able to get in there and at least get a piece of him so the running back can get by, and I haven't seen that once tonight for Mayfair.
Big third down play here for the Monsoons. In the eye, Gonzalez is going to toss it back to Manly. Manly gets it right in the hands. And Manly gains a yard. It's going to bring a 4th down, and the Monsoons will have to kick again.
And Rich, this is a play that we've seen all night from them, and it's averaging about 1 yard per carry. And they will indeed bring out the punt team. Clock continues to run with 9:45 left to go in this ball game. Gonzalez will step back and try and improve upon his 9-yard average so far today. Again, he angles, and this time trying to make the ball roll away from Price. Price will just let it land and stop.
Ball's down at the 27-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Matadors.
And Rich, maybe we'll start seeing some more clean yellow pants on the field right now for La Mirada. They got a big lead. This is a time you want to get your younger guys some time and get them some experience because you never know when someone in front of you is going to go down.
Yeah, it's time to lighten up and pull the reins back a little bit. You got a good enough lead right now.
I don't know, they may still be a little ticked off from having to wait at halftime to get outside.
That is something I forgot, Chris. You're right.
And I see 2 receivers out wide.
Screen pass to Vaca. Vaca's got some room, got some blockers, and Vaca's got a 1st down.
A gain of 15. Again, the screen pass has paid big dividends today for La Mirada. Vaca had a big one earlier in the first half, and this time lots of room again in front of him. Had his way to pick for 15 yards.
And the clock is running, Chris. You're right. The mercy clock is on because the chains aren't set yet, but they said run the clock.
Yep, just keep it going. Maybe that's a home clock, too.
Nah, the ref said that I seen him spin the arm. Said wind it up. Let's go. And Vaca again.
Vaca doing a lot of bouncing. Whenever he sees that things are a little clogged up and he doesn't like it, he bounces outside trying to use that speed, and his receivers are doing a good job outside, especially Shavers. Shavers doing a good job of just patiently waiting for the back to come to him. As soon as the back comes to him, he throws his block depending on which way the defensive back is going, and the running back's doing a good job of reading his block.
So the Matadors now have the reserves in the ball game. All new shirts, all new faces, exception of Vaca. Vaca didn't have a lot of carries in this game, so Flags everywhere.
Rich, they brought in a new quarterback. That's number 14, Chris Gauthier.
Gauthier.
How do you know it's Gauthier? How do you know that?
Are you buzzing or what? Come on.
I'm asking you.
That's his name.
That looks like Gauthier to me.
All right.
Anyway, new quarterback comes in. It's a completely different cadence. They're used to Meyer's rhythm. That time he came in with his own rhythm, Gauthier.
Yeah, Chris Gauthier's a sophomore. Gauthier's
throws off the offensive line.
He's not going to be lighting it up with the passes. They're going to keep it on the ground and get out of here with the win, Chris. 42-7's a good enough spanking. To give to Vaca. Vaca. He's got a hold. Vaca just breaking tackles, running over to people. He does not want to be denied. And Vaca's going to run it all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Wow.
Rich,
Listen, we talked about it.
You may say pulling back the reins, but that doesn't mean the players are pulling back the reins. Just means that you're getting more fresh legs in there to throw some blocks and make some plays. That time, Vaca doing a great job of getting through the line. Watch the ball almost come out. He wraps it up again once he gets about 4 yards downfield. This time he doesn't bounce it. He likes it. He cuts back off the blocks, doing a good job. Watch, look, the ball almost comes out right there. He's able to rein it back in, getting upfield, breaking tackles, and doing a good job of running through the Monsoons.
Vaca with a nice run down to the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. They set it up. The give again to Vaca, and Vaca hit by Baker, spun around, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit. And at this point, they just want to keep the clock moving.
Rich, they're looking over to the sidelines, waiting for the signal to go ahead and snap the ball, meaning the coaches are keeping track of the clock, letting them run down as much as they possibly can. But you got to take a look at Baker. Daniel Baker for Mayfair. We were talking earlier about Rudiger's uniform. Baker's just as dirty. He's been playing the fullback and middle linebacker position as well, and he's been fighting all night for the Monsoons.
Actually, Baker's looks worse because he's wearing white.
We saw a fresh running back in on that play. I believe it was Donnie Herrera, brought down by number 60, Sefi Pulamai. 6'2", 285 senior defensive lineman for the Monsoons. 3rd and 8 now for La Mirada.
Clock is running, 6:19, 6:18 to go.
Keep running.
And both teams held right about their average, Chris, just about. Scoring-wise, that is. The handoff again. This time it looks like Herrera. And some of the underclass getting some work tonight. This will come back big. What is that? Anyways, this will come back to help you big in the playoffs.
Donnie Herrera, the junior, getting some time, getting some carries. They list him as a wide receiver, but they're so deep, he's able to play a little bit of running back. Doing a good job of just running through the hole, and it's 1st and goal now from about the 9.5-yard line.
And there's the give again. Herrera going to keep running the ball.
Herrera going up the middle, and Michael McCabe, the senior defensive back for Mayfair, coming up and laying a stick on him, getting him a little dirty. Gain is about 3. 2nd and goal now from the 6-yard line. Herrera will stay in there at tailback.
Fumble, and it's picked up by the Monsoons. So the Monsoons saving an apparent score, because the Matadors are going forward, and it's Baker coming up with the fumble recovery.
We've been calling him all night. This time he comes up gimpy on his easiest play, making a fumble recovery. Baker's been all over the field. And this is what you get when you get inexperienced players. The ball was even out before Herrera even had a chance to get it in his stomach. The ball was coming out of the quarterback's hands. Gauthier having trouble with the exchange.
Dude, you're having trouble with that.
Turnover.
You're having trouble with that name,
I'm having
dude.
no trouble.
You're having all kinds of trouble.
I'm thinking my pronunciation might be right. It's a French name. Come on, Rich. Gautier.
Listen, man. The matriarch of that family, the patriarch that is, the head man has been coaching football here for 30 years, and it's always got the air. Period. And he's also the freshman coach, as you see the tailback Manley going forward, and his grandson's the quarterback, Chris, right now. So that's how I know the family.
Jimmy Manley with his biggest run of the night so far for the Monsoons, able to get up straight up the middle. They've been so unsuccessful on the option, but this time he's able to get straight up the field on a dive play and pick up a gain of 13, 14 yards.
Well, the thing is, too, Chris, the clock continues to run. 4:37, 4:36, 4:35 to go. And I'll tell you what, you know, again, it's good seeing the other guys get the time to play. Not too little, too late, but, you know, the underclass have to get some playing time in, and this is the time you get it done. But La Mirada, again, making a statement. They basically take the league crown back, I mean, in style. Here's Manley again. And again, this is coming against the second-team defense. And a touchdown is scored on a long run by Manley. 70-yard score with 4 minutes to go.
And Rich, I don't want to call anybody out, but they've got some fresh uniforms out there in the secondary, and they've got some dirty uniforms, and the dirty uniform guys had their hands up like, hey, you're lining up in the wrong spot, and they ran exactly where the guy was mislined up, and he was able to burst through, and that's the safety's play, and the safety wasn't there to make it. Watch the replay. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Number 3 on the bottom is the experienced guy, the dirty uniform. He had questions on lineup, and there you see the clean uniform, number 2 and 24, not in position to make the play. But Manley showing some good speed, getting upfield and outrunning the competition. Now there's another missed snap on the long snap.
That's just a slaughter there, dude. That's dog pile.
Number 8, Dante Bradford, right in the middle of a smear the queer game, and he got cleaned up by all the blue unis.
And when it rains, it pours. And right now, it's pouring big time. Mayfair. Score looked a little bit better in the paper.
In the paper. But on the film, it's not looking any better.
They continue to go.
Got to be an onside kick here. At least that's bringing a little excitement, right?
Yeah. Anything at this point. With 4, I guess we're going to a break, Chris.
Sounds good to me.
We'll be back.
Singing and moving to the grooving, and just when it hit me, somebody turned around and
Your company's IPO is the most successful in history,
I'm not surprised.
and investors appear very confident.
Of course they are, Linda.
So, do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
A dish.
Really? Then you can't even get local channels unless you pay more.
Really?
Digital cable gives you lots more channels than before. Right through the cable that you already have. Do you care to comment? Mr. Vickers?
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Well, Chris, Manley adding some excitement for the Monsoon partisans, and I got to give it to the Monsoon fans. They stayed here.
They definitely stuck around and supported their team till the end.
About 1,000 or so fans from Mayfair coming down.
Mayfair will kick it deep, and that'll be a penalty as it rolls out of bounds. Oh, look at that. It almost stayed in. It bounced right back towards the playing field, but it must have bounced on the line, and it's going to be an illegal procedure call against the Monsoons.
It's amazing. So, Chris, they're going to move this thing all the way back to the 6.
Rich, I don't get that. That's a penalty flag.
I know, man.
Why is the ball at the 6-yard line?
I don't know if the kid had a foot out of bounds and a foot in when he touched it, or what the deal was.
It wasn't a punt.
Did he call a fair catch? I don't know. But they moved it back, and it's back at the 7, man. So got the air on the keeper. Short yardage.
Rich, I'm still baffled by that call.
Yeah, well.
I mean, La Mirada lets the ball bounce. They know the ball's going to go out of bounds. And all of a sudden, they're stuck at the 6-yard line. Lucky this is not a close game, or else
No.
they'd be hearing about it.
If it was a close game, I don't think Manly gets that touchdown because it, you know, first-team defense is in there. And you've seen them swarm today. They're all over the place today. La Mirada was just out-hustled, out-finessed, and had too many offensive weapons today for Mayfair to contend.
Herrera getting another carry for. See a La Mirada fan. Herrera getting another carry, getting as much work as he possibly can in this fourth quarter. He wants to hurry up, get in the huddle, and get back on the line of scrimmage. He wants the ball some more. 3rd down and 3 now for La Mirada.
Yeah, they're just taking as much time off the clock, and the Monsoons are going to let them. Just put this one in the books and let it get behind you. You got to regroup. If you're the Monsoons, if you're La Mirada, you got to get ready for next week's game. You're playing Norwalk. Norwalk's playing tonight. Last week they hung up 41 points on Bolsa Grande.
Herrera on the outside just trying to fight and get upfield, and it looks like he may have gotten the first down.
Yeah, he got the first down, and that's going to do it.
Here we see another her clean uniform coming into the game. That's number 60 in blue. John Bonjak, 5'2", 190 junior, getting in there at the offensive line position at the right guard.
Yep. Jason Bowsen from Bellflower was like 5 foot. That's the smallest lineman I ever seen. This guy's got to be in second place at 5'2". And got there again on the keeper. And they're going to be content just to let it run, babe. That's it.
Got to feel good as an offensive lineman. You come sprinting in, you get in the ball game, and what do? They run the play right over your butt.
Pretty much. Well, I'll tell you what, these Matadors, man, these guys are hungry. They're not going to be challenged the rest of the way, Chris. Their schedule the rest of the way is pretty weak by their preseason schedule standards. This is actually the first year that La Mirada is really loaded up in the preseason. And having to come in with Mayfair, I mean, this is almost like a preseason game in the fact that it's so early still in the season, Chris. Most teams will play preseason games until next week still. Not in this league. You got 8, 9 teams in here now, or 8 teams, and there's going to be 9 pretty soon. Who knows? They're talking about moving Gar and Cerritos back in this league and kicking Cabrillo out, so who knows what's going to happen.
You got to get all those league games in. If you've got that many teams in your league,
Yep.
You got to play them all, and
it's
that just
unfortunate.
cuts down on your non-conference competition.
Well, it's unfortunate this year for the Matadors because they are, without question, the best team in the area. They're going to dominate their league as they have. Ton of firepower. The problem for them, Chris, is motivation the rest of the way. Not that they're going to need a ton of it to win their games, but motivation is going to be a problem. It's going to be hard to get those good practices in. 39 seconds left. Matadors will now improve to 4-0 and retain the #1 ranking in Division 6. But more importantly, Chris, they'll retain the Sports Corner ranking at #1.
We didn't see a promo or hear a promo tonight.
No, are you kidding me? They're not going to promo us. We got the hottest show going. So, Sports Corner Wednesdays, 8 to 9. Of course, Game of the Week follows, so join us for that. And that's going to do it here from La Mirada High School. The Matadors, in stellar fashion, regain the Suburban League crown by defeating Mayfair 42-13. On behalf of Chris Anderson, me, and the rest of the crew from AT&T Broadband Sports, I'm Rich Estrada saying so long from Arvo Goodman Stadium. The final once again, 42-13 in favor of La Mirada. See ya.
Playing in a rock and roll band.